Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Winter is here. She is upon us and she gave us no prior warning. It was literally like heat wave, heat wave, heat wave, heat wave, leaves fell, winter, and that was it. There was no time to prepare. We were not ready. And as a result of that, my skin is not very happy. She was not happy about that. She didn't have any time to sort of adjust to the colder weather, and I know I'm not the only one. So I thought in today's video I would do a little bit of a talk about skincare and how we can protect our skin in these colder months. Now, I was inspired to do this video because I was actually lucky enough to be given the opportunity to work at the Stylist Magazine convention, which took place at Kensington Olympia, and I got to work with this particular skincare brand called Antipodes. They are from New Zealand. All of their products are completely natural, completely organic. They are certified vegan. Some of their products contain Manuka honey, so obviously they're not vegan, but they are certified organic. They're completely cruelty-free, don't test on animals, and I think the products are really high quality, so I thought I would tell you guys a little bit more about them. Now, just a little bit of a disclaimer, just because I did work with this brand at the event, I just want to let you guys know I am not employed by them. I work freelance, so I don't have any sort of a contract with them. They don't pay me and they haven't, asked me to do this video or paid me to do this video. I just tried the products and I thought they were really good and I thought that, people might want to know about it. So now that all of that stuff is out of the way, let us begin. Now, they do have a pretty extensive line of products. I think there's about 30 in their range. They literally have everything from like cleansers and toners to like serums and face creams and eye creams, and they even have like body stuff. And so because I was working with them, they gave me a lot of products to test out, like a lot. So I have been able to try out a couple of the products for maybe about a week or so. A lot of them I haven't tried yet, and unfortunately I'm not going to be able to try out every single one of them today because I only have one face. But we're going to see sort of what we can get through, see how it works on my skin, and then I can sort of talk you through the rest of them because I do know a little bit about it. Lips are feeling a little dry up in here. Sort that out. Oh, it's a lip balm situation. Since we're here, I might as well start with this. This is the Kiwi Seed Lip Oil. It's basically just like a lip balm. That's, basically all I can say about it. I do really like this. I mean, it's nothing like revolutionary, but I do really like this on the lips because it has that sort of like oil in it. It like really absorbs right into the lips. And you know how like some like lip balms and stuff like that, you can tell that it's literally just Vaseline with a bit of fragrance because it just sits on top of the lips and you're having to reapply it every 10 minutes because it's not actually hydrating anything. I don't find that I have that with this. I feel like as soon as I put it on, it absorbs right in and my lips do feel really nice and nourished, and I'm able to like wear lipstick and stuff on top of it and it doesn't disrupt it in any way. And I feel like the packaging is quite cute. It has that little wave on it. Like, they really try and stay true to their New Zealand roots. It says the little name, Antipodes, on it. And then it says, I'm so healthy. And then when you open it, you can see it says, you could almost eat me. Now, I'm pretty sure you could, but I wouldn't recommend that. So I did actually start filming this video last night. When I came home, I had a few like cleansers and stuff that I wanted to try out. So I thought I'd try those, like remove some of my makeup and try a couple of the masks and things like that. So I'm starting off with the Grapeseed Butter Cleanser. I do really like to use sort of oily, balmy based cleansers to remove my makeup because I feel like they really break down all the makeup and pigment and it literally just slides off. This one comes in more of like a solid form as you saw, but then literally as you rub it into your hands, it just warms right up and then you just rub it into your face, and then I just rinsed it off with a warm flannel and some water. I wasn't wearing loads of makeup that day, literally just like some face powder and eye makeup, but you can see that all of the makeup has come off really easily on the flannel without me really having to even scrub that much. And once I've removed my makeup, I always go in with like a face wash, cleanser, and then micellar water on a cotton pad and toner as well, just to make sure that my face is really clean. Next, I'm taking the Halo Skin Brightening Mud Mask, which you can see from the jar I've really been enjoying. This one, as well as the butter cleanser, do come with their own spatula in the box as well, so that makes it really nice and easy to apply and keeps it hygienic because you don't have to keep sticking your fingers in. So I'm just using the spatula to apply large amounts onto the face, and then I'm going to use my fingers just to rub it in a nice thick layer, and then you can leave it to sit for about 20 minutes or so until it gets completely dry and you can't move your face. This mask actually has a slight granular texture to it, so before I wash it off completely, I actually like to wet my fingers to reactivate the mask, and then I rub it further into the skin just to give myself that little extra bit of exfoliation, and then I just use that same wet flannel to wash it all off.
And once my face is dry, just going in with the Kiwi Seed Oil Eye Cream, taking a tiny little bit of that on my ring finger and tapping slightly around the orbital bone of my eye. And to finish up, I'm actually going to go in with another face mask. This is the Aura Manuka Honey Mask. I know it isn't generally recommended to do too many face masks at one time, but I'm also just going to use this as like an overnight treatment. So this one is sort of a very thick, creamy texture, and you can just rub it in a thick layer like I'm doing and then leave it for 20 minutes to sink in and wash it off. But actually what I'm going to do is just let it absorbing overnight, and then hopefully I will wake up tomorrow morning looking and feeling like a glowing goddess. Here I am. There's the results. Not too shabby. So after I've done my usual morning cleansing and toning routine, I'm now going to go in with one of the serums. This is the Worship Antioxidant Serum. I like to use this one in the day because it's water-based, so it absorbs completely into the skin, doesn't leave any sort of residue, so then it's fine underneath makeup and my moisturizer and everything, and it doesn't leave me looking oily and greasy at all, just leaves my skin nice and hydrated. And then going in with one of the body products from the line, just massaging in the Heavenly Body Oil. Smells so good.
So I did manage to get my hands on one of the face cleansers. This is the Juliet Skin Brightening Gel Cleanser. It has kiwi fruit, Manuka honey, kiwi, and Venanza grape. So Venanza grape, essentially what it is a product that they have. It's like an ingredient that they put in all of their products, and it's basically this particular strand of Pinot Grigio grapes that grows in New Zealand. And because of like the hole in the ozone layer that's above New Zealand, the grapes have to work extra hard to protect themselves from sun damage, and as a result of that, they produce something like 3 times the level of antioxidants than any other grape in the world. So this company has like found a way to extract that and put it in every single one of their products. And I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that this brand is actually the only skincare brand in the world that is using that in their products. So anyway, yeah, I picked up this cleanser, but I didn't actually get around to using it this morning just because I'm in the middle of another bottle of cleanser and I just feel like I want to finish that one first before I open a new one. As much as I want to open all of these products, it's just a little bit counterproductive when I'm in the middle of like 10,000 different ones anyway. So I'm trying out what I can. So after I cleansed my face, I went in with the Worship Antioxidant Serum, as you guys saw, but I also do have 2 of the other serums. This is the Divine Face Oil Serum, and this is the Hosanna H2O Intensive Serum. I think in the range there are 6 serums. They have 3 oil-based and 3 water-based ones. So this is one of the water-based ones, which I think is going to be better for my skin type just because I have oily skin. But that being said, if you do have an oily skin type, it's not that terrible for you to add oils to the skin. So I did pick up this one as well. This one is rosehip and avocado oil. Rosehip oil is really, really good for skin, especially oily skin. So I probably wouldn't use this one during the day, but maybe at night as like a night treatment to really like nourish the skin while I'm sleeping. And then the water-based ones like the H2O one and the other one that I was using, I do like to use during the day because they sort of give that extra boost of hydration that my skin needs. Now it's a little drier in the winter time, but it doesn't leave any sort of like a greasy film, so I can still like wear makeup and stuff like that over the top of it, and it's not going to make me look ultra shiny and, you know, like disco ball. Can I just say though, I really love the packaging on all of this. That like print that's on all of that is so nice. And all of the actual bottles and stuff feel like really nice, high quality. This is a plastic bottle, but like the serums and stuff come in really nice, like little glass bottles, and everything just feels really nice and high quality and luxury. So you know you're getting good products. So I did actually get to try this one out last night. This is the Kiwi Seed Eye Cream. So I have, like I said before, I'm not really trying to like use everything because I am in the middle of using other stuff at the same time. And even though I am in the middle of another eye cream, I'm not really enjoying it that much. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to try this one out anyway. Because the one I was using before, I think it's like a simple one. It's nice, but it feels a little bit like heavy on my under eyes and it's a little bit greasy. So it's fine for me to use at night. But I wouldn't really use it during the day because I feel like it would like disrupt my makeup and my concealer and stuff like that. So I tried this one out and you can see like I used the tiniest amount. It's literally still full to the brim. And I feel like I just put that tiny bit on, as you sort of saw in the video, and tapped it in and literally it was gone. It just absorbed right in. There was no sort of a greasy film and my skin just felt so good. And this cream is actually says it's scientifically proven to stimulate the growth of type 1 collagen by 82%. That's a big claim, which is similar to this. This is the Avocado Pear Night Cream, which says it stimulates collagen production by 92%. That's all a bit mad. So even though this stuff is like all natural and organic, it is all still scientifically tested. So the claims that they're making on these boxes are not just like random numbers that they've plucked out of the air. Although, like I said, they don't test anything on animals. What they actually do is take a sample of like human skin cells and replicate those in the lab, and that's what they use to test their products on. So that way you know that it's going to work for human skin because it's been tested on human skin. Anyway, back to the cream. I picked up this one. This is the Avocado Pear Nourishing Night Cream. And I also have this, which is one of, I think, 3 day creams. This is the Vanilla Pot Hydrating Day Cream. I think this is the lighter of the 3 of them. So I feel like this one is going to be good for my skin type because it's going to leave my skin still feeling quite matte. Although I haven't tried it out. I didn't get a chance to try out the night one last night either, just because I put on that Manuka honey mask and I decided to just leave it on overnight as like a night treatment. And thank God I did that, because I woke up this morning and my skin was like, I wanted to eat it. I wanted to eat my own skin. Is that strange? I feel like it's a little bit strange. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna give this one a try out today, just because, like I said, I'm already in the middle of using another face cream. It's like a mattifying face cream, and I do really like that one, especially for wearing under makeup. And I feel like that one's going to be better for this video, because one of the main products that I do want to try out is actually one of their makeup products. So this is the Mineral Skin Brightening Finishing Powder with SPF 15. I just picked it up in the translucent because I'm going to be completely honest, the shade range of these powder foundations, it's just not there. It's really not. I do feel like they're in the process of like relaunching. I think they are expanding the shade range and stuff like that. But right now, there just really was not a shade for your girl. I feel like the darkest one they had maybe would have been just light enough for me to maybe use like to brighten up my under eyes. I maybe could have got away with using it all over my face if I finessed it, but I really just wasn't about to do that. So I was like, let me just play it on the safe side and pick up the translucent. This is sort of the main thing I really wanted to try out in today's video, and that's the reason why I didn't want to sort of layer up every single one of the skincare products on my face, because if I did that and then tried this out and like my skin sort of acted in a funny way, like it became like either ultra dry or ultra greasy, I wouldn't really know what it was that made it that way, and then I might end up saying that I really didn't like the powder or I really did like the powder, when actually I couldn't really give a conclusive decision, because I don't know what it is that's like affecting my skin. So I wanted to keep as much of my routine the same as it has been, so that I can get a real idea of what this powder is like. Because as an oily skin type, we know that just me and powder, we are best friends. So I'm always on the lookout for something new, and if this happens to be it, then just right off the bat, I really like the packaging of this. I feel like it's really nice and sleek with like the silver lid, and then it has the logo on the front, although it's one of those things where you are going to get fingerprint marks all over it. Although I will say that I feel like this packaging does feel a little bit cheaper than the rest. Say if I compare it to like the mud mask, this one feels a lot heavier, a lot more sturdy. I don't know if that's just because powder is lighter in consistency than a mud mask is, so that's what's giving it the weight. But I don't know, I feel like something about this packaging is not really up to the same standard as the rest of the packaging is. So hopefully that's also something that they're going to be looking at in the relaunch. But I mean, it's not about what the packaging looks like, it's about what's inside it. So let me just stop talking and we can just get started. So I'm starting off my makeup routine like I always do, applying the Benefit Professional Matte Rescue Gel. Common misconception, this is not actually a primer. It's like a pre-primer, it's like part of your skincare. You can either put it on by itself or like underneath your primer, and it's going to keep your skin that real extra bit matte all day. I know it just sounds like, oh my god, it's another step in our already 10,000 step routine, but trust me, this works. I feel like when I put this on under my makeup, I literally do not have to blot all day because my skin just stays looking nice. It doesn't get overly oily, makeup doesn't break out. I don't know what the hell they put in this, because the actual professional primer I didn't really like, but this is the GOAT. The actual primer, I'm going in with the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Base. I'm just putting that like on the oiliest parts of my face and where I'm the most porous, so like on my cheeks, on my forehead and my nose, and a little bit onto my chin. And then for the rest of my face, I've just mixed together a little bit of the NYX Angel Veil Primer with some Inglot Duraline, and I'm just going to apply that around the areas of my face. I can't get under here, where I didn't put the Makeup Forever one. I have like really scaled back my everyday makeup routine lately. I literally put on primer, a bit of under eye concealer, and then powder, and then that's literally it. I'm just really not that bothered about coverage nowadays because I just do not have the time to be doing all of that every day, and like, my skin's not perfect, we can see that. I don't care. Also, more so recently, because I tried, like, I've never really used a serum that much in my routine before, but I think about a month ago I saw one and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try a serum, because everyone's always talking about how you should use a serum. I'm not gonna say which one it was, I'm not gonna name drop, but that shit broke me the fuck out. I have never had such a bad breakout on my skin, and my skin has still not recovered from it, okay? Like, you can see all of the scarring. This thing still here. She is not leaving. I'm gonna have to start charging her rent. So because of that reason, I'm trying to go sort of a lot lighter on my makeup, just to give my skin that chance to really recover, which is another reason why I really started liking the Antipodes products, because I was really trying to like go heavy on the skincare routine I was doing before, and nothing was really helping it. And then I feel like as soon as I started using the Antipodes stuff, particularly the mud mask that I used last night, it made a huge amount of difference. Like, I put that on and like all of my breakouts were like huge, and like everything was red, and it was just, oh. And then I woke up the next morning and it hadn't got rid of everything. It wasn't like a miracle treatment, but all of the spots were like visibly smaller, visibly less angry. They felt nicer. Like, the smaller ones had sort of dried out and disappeared. Like, I felt like it just made a visible difference to me, and so I was like, wow, this stuff actually works. I'm literally just putting a tiny bit of concealer on, blend her out right quick. I'm not going to put any on my actual eyelids yet, because I'm not going to do my eyes on camera. When I was at the event, I actually picked up the new holiday palette from Pixie. I got this for half price. So I think I'm gonna try this out today, but I'm gonna do it in its own like standalone review video. So I'm gonna go and do my eyes off camera and then come back and like finish this video. Now the concealer is blended in, let's get into this powder. So it says it's a skin brightening and it has SPF of 15, which does worry me a little bit, because makeup products with SPF, or just things with SPF in general, tend to be quite flashbacky. So I'm not planning on having, you know, being chased by paparazzi and having loads of flash photography. So I'm probably going to be okay, but I would say that is probably something to be aware of. I don't really know what it means by skin brightening. I just sort of... the texture of it feels quite nice. It's not, you know, the finest milled powder I've ever felt, but... oh, it seems to have... you can't really see it on the back of my hand because, like, not much of it's coming out, but it seems to have... you can't see that at all, but I can see it. It seems to have a little bit of like a sheen to it. It's not like glittery in any way. It's not like chunky glitter, but I can definitely see there's some sort of a little bit of shimmer in there. So that concerns me a little bit, because I'm a very matte skin girl, so we'll have to see what that's like. But it has this cool thing in the packaging where you can like turn that bit and it covers up the little hole, so that will be really good for travel, because I hate it when I go somewhere and put a powder in my bag and then it opens and just explodes everywhere. It's the most annoying thing ever. Oh, I just spilled it all over myself after I just said that whole thing about it spilling everywhere. I'm a fool. Anyway, so I've opened it a little bit and this is what it looks like. It does look a little bit like, I don't know if this makes sense, it looks a little bit like it's sort of clumped together. It doesn't look very fine. So we're gonna see how this goes on the skin. Normally in my routine, I would go all over the face in my powder using a wet sponge. They do say to use a kabuki brush, but that's just not what I do. So I'm gonna try and just try it out how I would normally use it in my routine. That way I can get a real feel for like if this is a good powder for me or not. So I'm putting a little bit onto my sponge and I'm gonna go and set my concealer. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but that does not look cute. that doesn't look cute at all. That looks like I just tried to set my under eyes with a highlighter. So there's that. I really wanted to wear this all day and sort of do a wear test, but I don't want my whole face to look like this. It started to like bunch up into the lines under my eyes. Maybe I could go in with a brush and see what happens. Let me just go in with a clean side of the sponge and see if I can like blend it out a little, because it all looks a little bit mad right now. Okay, I think that looks slightly better, but when I look at it really closely, it doesn't look like, my concealer doesn't look matte like how it normally does when I put a powder on it, so that I know that it's set. So this is making me think, like, has this actually set anything, or is my concealer just really gonna crease? So let's try and do the other eye. Okay, so I went in with slightly less on this eye and it does look better. Upon thinking about it, I think the issue is that, you know, when you like wet a shimmery eyeshadow, it makes it more intense. Because this powder does have that element of shimmer to it, it's having the same effect, and it's not going on like completely translucent. Because it's wet, it's going on pigmented in a way, so it looks a bit strange. So I think maybe what I'm gonna do is just try it with a brush and see how that goes. So the company do actually make a brush that goes with this. I don't have it, but I'm pretty sure it's a natural hair fiber brush, and I do have one of those. So I'm just gonna try that out and hope that that works the same. Okay, so I've got my brush. I'm just going in with what's left on the lid, and you can even see like on the lid it has that reflection in the sun because it's quite shimmery, right? So I've got some, I'm afraid. Let's just see how this goes, because in theory this slight bit of shimmer shouldn't be a problem. It should just make my skin look really nice and like glowy, but I might just be doing it wrong, so we don't know. I've never really used a powder like this. I'm just so used to all matte everything. So I think it is going on a lot better with a brush. I will say that when I go in, I have to like tap off the excess, because if I put it straight on and there's like a clump, it does sort of just stick and leave like a shiny patch, which I'm not used to doing because I wear so much powder. I'm literally like all of the powder on the brush and just put it all over my face, and generally it's fine. So I think this is just more about an adjusting of technique, but I'm not hating the finish of it. It does give my skin a, it's not really catching the light very well, but it does not give it like a glow, but it's not like completely flat matte, so it does sort of look like healthier, I guess is what they're going for. I don't hate it, it's just not what I'm used to. So what I would always do in my routine now is take another powder, but that's like similar to my skin tone, and just go over my whole face, because even though translucent powders say that they're translucent, on darker skin tones they do generally tend to leave a little bit of a white cast. So adding a face powder of your own skin tone is just going to bring that little bit of colour back into your face. But a powder like this doesn't tend to be as oil controlling as a translucent powder, so that's why I layer the two. So I've got a similar brush. This is not the same one. This is the one from Milani, and I actually broke this and I tried to put it back together with rubbing alcohol. That's why it looks like this, which is why it like now just hardly picks up anything on the brush. I don't know why this is an issue, because I've used this technique before with eyeshadows and highlighters, like putting them back together with alcohol, and it's worked perfectly fine. So this powder is just playing me. Okay, so now I've got the powder on, and I've also thrown on a little bit of a brow gel. Please do not watch my eyebrows. I know they look trash. I know they need doing, but brows is not the point of this video, so please just ignore that. I have the powder on, and now I don't hate it. I actually think, especially on camera, it makes my skin look really nice. It makes it look smooth. It looks quite like blurred out, like you can't see, like in person I can see there's still a lot of like scars left over from old spots, but on camera I don't feel like you can really see it. And now it's sort of catching the light there. You can see it's giving me sort of that glow. Up close, especially under my eyes, it doesn't look the best. Like it sort of makes my eyes look glowy but dry at the same time. It's really strange. So like my concealer's set and it's there, but it looks like the powder has already made it crease, and then the creases have then just been set, and then it has like little bits of shine right here. It's really strange. But on the face, I don't actually hate it. So I'm gonna go and do my eyes, not off camera, on camera, but not for this video. So I'm probably gonna post that one after this. So have a look out for that one. I'm gonna go do my eyes and then be back here. Actually, the rest of my face as well. And then be back here and then we can sort of wear this for a little while and see how it lasts throughout the day. I don't really have anywhere to be today, but it is raining quite a bit outside. So I feel like that would be quite a good test of how it is in the elements and how it is with moisture, because we already saw before how it was with the wet sponge. It wasn't cute. So if it like rains on my face, am I going to be left with like streaks of shimmer all down my face? I don't know. We shall see. It's me from the future. So it's been a few days since I filmed those first couple of segments, and I just wanted to chime in a little bit here because I've been using a few more of them, incorporating them a little bit more into my skin routine. So I just wanted to let you guys know how it's been going. So I used the Grapeseed butter cleanser again to remove the makeup that I will be wearing by the end of this video, and I used it slightly differently this time and I feel like I made it work better. So for starters, I actually read the instructions. And it actually says to wet your face first, which is what I didn't do the time before because I was used to using oil cleansers that you do just sort of apply straight onto your face and massage in to like loosen the makeup. So I tried to do it with that one and I feel like it was a little bit too thick, and then when I was trying to remove the makeup with a wet cloth, I had to sort of like tug a little bit, which I guess is not really what you want to be doing to your skin. So the time I used it after, I wet my face first and put some into my hand, and I found that I even then just had to use even less than I used before, massaged it into my hands and rubbed it all over my face. And surprisingly, it works even better because in my mind, I was just assuming that because of the texture and consistency of a product like that, mixing it with water would be counterproductive and it wouldn't work, but it actually worked so much better. It didn't lather up in any way, but it spread a lot nicer across my face, and then all of the makeup literally just melted off. I've also been incorporating the Divine Face Oil into my nighttime routine. I've been using this as my nighttime serum before my moisturizer. I wouldn't use this during the day, obviously, because I have oily skin and it's oil-based. It is going to make me look really shiny, but I really like it at night. And I've literally just like woken up and just got out of my bed, so please don't watch this situation. But do, because, you know, look at my skin. And it's not really showing up on camera, but like through my T-zone, I am very shiny, I am oily, I am aware of that. Slightly less oily on my cheeks just because that is naturally where my skin is a little bit drier at this time of year. But I feel like I don't mind waking up looking really oily because at night I'm sleeping, I don't care what I look like. I'm just more concerned with my skincare and what's happening to it during the night. So I really like to use this because, I mean, I obviously wake up looking oily. Not as oily as I have looked when I've put other oils on my skin, so I feel like that shows me that this is really sort of sinking in and doing its job, and I wake up and my skin feels so good. And I feel like I need to use hardly any of it. Like, the amount that's probably in the little pipette thing right now, I probably would use like half of that on my whole face. And I was a little bit skeptical to use it at first because at nighttime I use like a gel moisturizer, which is obviously extremely water-based. I've been using the Garnier Skin Active Refreshing Botanical Jelly, and you can see like it's completely a gel, extremely water-based, so which is why it's like good for hydrating oilier skin types. So I was really scared because, you know, oil and water don't mix. So I was like, if I put the oil serum on and then I put this on top of it, are they going to do something really weird and like bubble up onto my face, and like neither of them are going to absorb into my skin and it's just going to be a mess? But actually I didn't feel like I had a problem at all. I feel like even with the oil underneath, this still absorbed really nicely into my skin and gave it that extra boost of hydration. And then I know I said I wasn't going to start on the face cream, like day cream, yet because I was already in the middle of another one. I realised after I stopped filming that I had finished that one, so I started using the Vanilla Pod. I've used it I think once or twice. The first time I used it, I put it on and I was a little bit worried because it felt a lot thicker in texture than I'm normally used to using in a face cream. So I was like, oh my god, this is just gonna sit on top of my skin. It's not gonna like absorb in and I'm just gonna look like a hot greasy mess. But actually I didn't find that that was the case. I found that like by the end of the day, obviously I was very oily by the time I was ready to go to bed. Well, obviously I was at home by that time, so I didn't care. But I mean, during the day, I found like I didn't really get as oily as I had expected to, and not as oily as I have gotten with other creams that I have used. And I think that's because it is hydrating my skin. So when oily skin knows that it's being hydrated, it then produces less oil, if that makes sense. I haven't tried this out yet wearing it underneath makeup, because normally I do use like a mattifying moisturizer under my makeup just to make sure that it stays in place and I'm not having to like blot and touch up every 5 seconds. So I've not tried this under there yet. I'm still a little bit skeptical about that, but we'll have to see. Okay, so I'm back and my eyes and face are done. And can we please evaluate this glow? I definitely think the powder had a contributing part to play in that, because that's crazy. So to finish the look, I have a choice of 3 lipsticks to try. I really like the boxes of these. They sort of come in the same theme, but all of the boxes are a slightly different colour that match the actual lipstick inside. So I have the shade 3 Queenstown Hot Chocolate, the shade 5 Piha Beach Tangerine, and shade 7 South Pacific Coral. So these are called the Moisture Boost lipsticks, and they're very much oil based. They have castor oil, coconut oil, calendula, beeswax, avocado oil, evening primrose oil, argan oil, shea butter, jojoba oil, and vitamin C. So they're not going to be like a punch of colour. You're going to be able to sort of build up the pigment. So if you want it slightly blotted down as more like an everyday look, you can do that. Or if you want to build up the colour to full coverage pigment, you can also do that as well. They're completely customizable. And because of all the oils that's in them, they keep the lips really hydrated during the day. And the lipsticks themselves come in the same bullet as like the lip oil, and then it has a little sticker on the bottom showing the colour. I'm noticing that all of these are slightly different. So the shade Queenstown Hot Chocolate is like a black sticker and it has the number, it says the name. The Piha Beach Tangerine is a black sticker with the name, but it doesn't have a number. And then the South Pacific Coral is the pink sticker and the colour of the lipstick with the number and the name. So they're all like variations on a theme, but for some reason they're not quite the same, which is a bit strange. But anyway, this is what they look like. They're not in that sort of regular lipstick bullet shape that you normally find. That the lip balm's in that regular lipstick shape, but this is sort of like sloped on both sides. It's a little bit strange. Anyway, this is, let me try and do a little swatch. This is Queenstown Hot Chocolate. That's just going to be a nice nude for my skin tone. This is Pacific Bay Coral. They are not really showing up on camera. And this is Piha Beach Tangerine. She looks a little bit worse for wear because I have actually worn her a few times, like all day. And I felt that my lips didn't feel dry. And also because they dry down to a demi-matte finish, they don't like slip around and they still stay in place. So I was wearing it all day and I only really had to reapply it like after lunchtime, after I'd eaten. And I was taking sips of water all day and it wasn't all coming off and transferring. So I do really like these lipsticks. I'm gonna see if I can try and get some more shades because they're really nice. I think I'm gonna go in with Queenstown Hot Chocolate. I'm hoping that this is gonna be like a dark enough nude that I may not need a liner with it, but if I do, you can add on and we'll just see. That's very much the same actual colour as my lips, just like a slightly bit lighter and just a little bit more pink, which I quite like, but I feel like I want a little bit more just because I have this whole like reddish browny pinky situation going on my eyes. So I think I might add some of the Pacific Coral just in the centre. Ooh, I like that. Yes. Yes, I like that. I don't know why personally I feel like the Tangerine one was a little bit more pigmented, but I don't know if it's just because these are more natural colours that they sort of blend in a bit more. But I do really like the finish of this and I like how this is looking. So now that my whole face is done and the powder has had a chance to sit on my skin for a little bit, I'm liking it more and more. It doesn't give me that completely matte and flat look that I'm actually quite used to. It gives me sort of more of like a lived-in look, which is generally, this is how my face would be looking after a few hours of wear when my oils are starting to come through. So I'm not mad at how this is looking. My fear is that if I'm already looking like this, then I'm going to be looking like a greaseball in no time at all. So we're just going to have to see. But I will say I like this powder for on camera. I feel like on camera it does look really nice. We'll just have to see how it actually wears in real life, and it has just started pouring down with rain again like a motherfucker. So I'm going to take myself out into the world and see what happens. Also, it's kind of hard for me to tell how much of the shine on my face is actually my natural oils coming through or what's just like shimmer from the powder or from this crazy highlight. So I've got a little tissue and I'm just gonna do a little bit of a blot. Okay, so that seems to be taking shine down, which means that it is actually coming from my oils, which means that the powder isn't really controlling my oils that well. But I did kind of expect that, because normally to get the optimum levels of oil control, I do like to press my powders in with a wet sponge, and because that wasn't working with this powder and I had to like use a brush, I'm not going to get the same results that I would have liked to. I'm just going to take some on the same brush that I used earlier and tap off the excess so I don't get any of those little patches, and I'm just gonna go for it. That doesn't appear to have been a complete disaster. In an ideal world, I would prefer not to really go out looking like this, because I'm just not entirely happy with how my makeup is looking today. But for the sake of the video and the sake of giving you a very good review, and also because I do actually have some stuff that I need to do, I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's go. Okay, so this is how my face is looking in natural light. Now that I'm outside, I kind of like how it looks more than I did when I was inside. Maybe the lighting was just a little bit off. Even though the lighting out here is a little bit weird. The sun is already setting and it's like 3:30. But we digress. But on the bright side, it stopped raining, so let's hope that that continues, because if it starts pouring rain again, I don't own an umbrella, so it has begun precipitating. But so far, I don't think I look terrible. Okay. My lipstick is pretty much completely gone. But I'm not mad, because even though it's gone and it's like faded away because I ate, my lips don't feel dry. So I'm not like scrambling around to find it because I forgot to put it in my bag to reapply it. So I don't feel like that's a bad thing. I feel like it's not one of those lipsticks that like you put it on and then it gradually starts to crumble off, or you like it comes off in the middle and you get butthole lip. Like I haven't got that. Like it started to fade pretty evenly, and even though it's gone, I still have a little bit of hydration left on my lips. So it's dark. I'm going home. I'm very shiny. Hello. But actually not as shiny as I thought I would be. So I feel like my opinion of this powder has done like a complete 180. Okay, street lights gone, lighting is gone, that's fine. I feel like my opinion of this powder has done a complete like 180. I feel like when I tried it out, I just didn't really know how to use it, so maybe I just didn't use it right for it to live up to its full potential. So next time I feel like I will continue to use it, but I just won't apply it wet. So I'll have to just find a way to get around applying it dry but still getting the most puddle, but still getting the most oil control out of it. So maybe if I apply my regular powder wet and then put this one on top with a brush, just to give myself more of that like healthy glow kind of a look, that might work. But then I end up using like 3 powders and that's just so much effort. I don't feel like anyone needs that. I don't feel like anyone wants that in their routine, to have to go to that much effort. But I don't know, I have to see. I'm not ready to completely dismiss it as a bad product. I feel like I just need to play with it a little bit more because the potential for it is there. But anyway, my camera battery's about to die, and so I think I'm just going to end this video here. I'm probably going to go home and just try out the same, or maybe a couple more of the like skincare products tonight, just like remove my makeup and stuff. So I don't feel like there's anything really new or anything left for me to say, so I'm just going to end the video there. And I hope you found this video helpful and I taught you something about a nice new skincare brand that you might have been on the lookout for. The products are really good quality, and for the price, like, they're not crazy expensive. I know some serums out there cost like over £100, and I think that's just ridiculous. And for the fact that they're not like completely organic and completely natural and things like that, is it really worth it? I don't think it is. Whereas these products I feel like are really worth the money. I look absolutely crazy right now because you literally cannot see 90% of my face, but hopefully you can hear me. Oh, there we go, I'm back. Yeah, I'm walking uphill, so I'm starting to get out of breath. So let me just end the video here by saying, if you did enjoy the video, like it, and leave a comment, subscribe, and you know, stuff. And when I drop the video about the palette where I was testing it out on my eyes, I'll spill all the tea about that. have a look out for it. I'll see you then.